Anything that you try to actively do, like any tactic that you use to try to get her to come back to you, is not going to work because it's a thing that you're actively doing, right? You can't push a rope. It doesn't work like that. What's up, man? Patrick James here, and welcome to another episode of Raw Dating Advice. In this video, I'm going to answer a question from my man Daniel. It's a very good question, and it's going to have some action steps that I'm going to give you depending on if you're a beginner or if you're advanced. I want you to take action on this video as soon as you get done watching this tonight with a girl that you happen to come across that you may or may not find attractive. So the question is, hey Patrick, I haven't been able to go on many dates lately due to how busy I've been with school and work, but there is this hot girl at my work who I've had my eye on. We hit it up very well, but she is afraid of sleeping with me because we would never be the same at work. How could I change her mind? Now, here's the thing. I want to throw in a little caveat before I give you the actual answer that I would say, because honestly, I've been there before. I've been attracted to coworkers, and I've even slept with coworkers, and there's a way that you can do it. However, I want to ask you this. Why do you feel like you have to end up sleeping with this girl specifically? Is it like an ego thing? Or is it more likely what most guys are struggling with, which is they don't have any other options? This girl happens to be the only girl that they see on a regular basis that may be showing signs of interest towards them, but because they don't have any other girls in their life that are also doing that, they kind of feel like all their eggs have to go into this one basket. But most guys are okay with that because most guys live in the thirsty many. Most guys live in scarcity. And however, Daniel, I don't know if that's you. However, I'm going to make the broad guess based off of some of the other details that I left out of your question that you are probably one of those guys who, like you said, struggles to meet new women. Therefore, right now you are in scarcity. Therefore, right now you want to sleep with this girl, which is totally fine. But just know that if you really want to improve your game and level up your dating life and actually be in the driver's seat of where your dating life is going, then I would 100% work on your ability to actually bring new women into your life, whether it's through cold approach, whether it's through building up your social circle and kind of having the social scene around you in your city kind of revolve around you being the guy who's creating all these events or house parties or small get-togethers that your friends can come to. Either way, you need to be actually developing new leads, is what we call it in business, right? In any sales type of job or marketing type of job, we always talk about client acquisition, right? And in the same thing, it kind of draws a parallel to your dating life. How are you bringing in new people or new women into your dating life? Therefore, you're no longer in scarcity. Therefore, you're not completely 100% reliant on this one thing working out. And if it doesn't work out, then you're fucked, right? So that said, I would work on that. However, that is the topic of an entire other video, is how to meet women. And if you guys are interested, then leave me a comment below and I'll make that one video about how to meet women and create this consistent flow of women coming into your life. I'll create one of those videos for you if you guys would be interested. But that said, if you really want this girl to start chasing you and actually want to sleep with you and actually be okay with it, then here's a couple of action steps that I recommend. One is think about what is the context here. Right now, she's the one, obviously it takes two to tango. So there's two people and it's like, hey, I want to be with you. And she's like, I want to be with you too. And you say, okay, let's fuck. And she says, well, I don't know. It might change the dynamic between us. And she's kind of retreating away from you at this point. Then the context here is anything that you try to actively do, like any tactic that you use to try to get her to come back to you, is not going to work because it's a thing that you're actively doing, right? You can't push a rope. It doesn't work like that. And so what I would recommend you is take the position of the buyer here, because in every male to female interaction, there's one person who's like kind of choosing and the other person is pursuing, right? And it really comes down to how do you want to lead this out as a man, and how are you going to frame this situation when you're with her? How are you going to make this frame actively known? And so the way I would say is not by actively trying to convince her to logically want to sleep with you, because even the fact that it's come up in conversation to where she's like, I don't know if I want to sleep with you because it might change, that's how I know you're not leading this effectively, because there should be no point in the conversation if you have actually good game. There should be no point in the conversation where she's logically telling you, yes, I want to sleep with you, or no, I don't want to sleep with you. Most women, especially women who are getting seduced by a guy who knows what he does, who knows how to create tension, kill tension, and lead the interaction, that's the type of guy who's going to spark the right emotions in the moment, to where in her world, in her eyes, it kind of just feels like, whoa, there's just so much tension, there's so much chemistry here that, I don't know, it kind of just happened and we just ended up sleeping with each other, right? For her, she wants it to be more of a spontaneous thing, and more importantly, understand that for women, feeling attracted to a guy, especially in the moment, it sways with her emotions. Women are very emotionally driven. They do things based on how they feel about that decision, whereas us men, we're very logical. So for you, you can't logic this girl into wanting to sleep with you. You can't push a rope, but you can pull a rope, right? And so I guess here in that analogy, pulling on the rope one thing I would recommend doing is, obviously, in my book, 107 Proven Ways to Get the Girl, there's literally 107 ways to create that moment of tension to where she actually feels the urge to come towards you. And so one of the first chapters in here, I talk about the concept of disqualifying a girl. So just imagine this. If you guys were hanging out, you're on your way back to her place, or her place or your place. Before you get in, you just say something like, okay, you can come in for a little bit, but just know I have to get up early, so you better keep your hands to yourself because I'm a good boy, right? My mother warned me about girls like you, so keep your hands to yourself, girl, right? If you say something like that, it's a playful thing, but it's also a disqualification. It's also kind of blaming her for seducing you, and it's in a playful way to where clearly now you're telling her to not do something, which is obviously going to make her want you to do it, or want to do it even more, right? It's a playful disqualification that flips the tides, and it's a playful, really subtle way to kind of say that I'm the chooser here, I'm the buyer here, but also take sex off the table. And what's the context there? You're retreating away from her. You're the one who logically said, we can't do this, don't do this, I've got my eye on you, I'm a good boy, don't try to ruin me tonight, right? And it's a little playful thing that you do that more often than not is going to actually make her want to do it in the moment. And it's a playful thing, she's having fun, and it's one of those things that at the end of the day is just flirting. So that said, if you're a beginner and you're kind of new at this, what I always recommend is having 3 of those lines that you can use in basically any common situation that I would challenge you to use in the first 2 to 3 minutes of every conversation that you enter with a woman from here on out for the next 30 days. If you can do that, then you're going to be really calibrated. You're going to be very good at disqualifying women and creating tension, and it's become second nature to you. But if you're more advanced, then I would say start to think about what is the frame here, and how can I actively show that I'm the buyer in this interaction, but also do it in a light and nonchalant and playful way that actually implies to her on a subconscious level that maybe you have other options, which is why you're so light and nonchalant about whether or not she wants to sleep with you. It's no big deal to you either way. In fact, you're taking it off the table. When you can do that, now on a frame level, on a contextual level, you're the buyer here and she's the one who has to qualify herself to you. And more often than not, if you do it in a playful way, if you drop these things with good timing, and it just takes practice, then in the moment it's just going to make her kind of giggle, feel the tension, and that flirty tension is going to build up so high to where she feels the urge to break the touch barrier with you, and now you guys are making out and you're accomplishing your goal. So that said, if you're not already subscribed to the Raw Dating Advice family, then hit that subscribe button. I upload videos every single Tuesday, and if you don't already have my book, 107 Proven Ways to Get the Girl, you can get your copy now for free while supplies last. Just go to howtogetthegirlnow.com. The link is also below this video. On that note, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Peace out.